But do you wear a jockstrap? Do you wear? How do you? What's the deal with the package? Like, how did it come loose?
You have your harness across your shoulders.
Yeah.
You have your lap belts here.
Yes.
And then in single seaters, we
Yes.
have belts, basically two quite thin belts that come between your legs, basically one either side, and
Yeah.
they go into these belts here, and they basically hold your legs in. Because when you brake really hard and you forces moving forward, it's basically hold you back.
Yeah.
But you basically have to tuck them underneath everything, so it's quite important to arrange everything in a way that it's all. And I'd never really had too many issues with that until racing in Japan, and apparently the belt system in that car was just a lot tighter than I was used to.
Do you think it's because Japanese people in general are a lot smaller? I'm not saying in that department, but potentially just physically quite smaller, and they didn't cater for you.
Honestly, I think it has absolutely nothing to do with it. But but you know, it is a fair point. But I think honestly, it was just the way it was. And yeah, basically for that race, I must have just not arranged it properly. And what happened is, because they're so tight, one literally pops out.
Yes.
You know, it's not like it
Yeah.
comes loose; it literally pops out,
Yeah.
and then it's on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's what the bane is from, basically. So
Yeah, I wore a lot of stubbies back in the day, and I found that issue as well. But Liam Lawson, welcome along to the Agenda podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here. We've just watched a wee doco in the wings about your season last year and your journey through that. What is besides popping a nut and not popping a nut? What are the plans? What's the future? What happens this year?
this year's quite simple right now. It's basically reserve role. So how I've been with Red Bull for the last couple of years, I've always been doing a separate program as well as being reserve. So I've raced in Formula 2, raced in Super Formula, whereas this year there's no racing program alongside it. It's just basically full focus on Formula 1 and being reserve and preparing for driving the car, basically. And obviously I don't know if and when that could happen, but that's obviously what the preparation's for.
So you get to go on the full Formula 1 tour. You are with the team for every single race meeting?
Every single race, yeah.
Well, that's going to be pretty wild. That's going to be pretty wild. And I need to ask you this question. I watched the Las Vegas Grand Prix back to back. That was fucking wild, man. Like, ever since the Drive to Survive, how wild has Formula 1 become, particularly in the US?
Yeah, in the US, it's massive. All the US Grand Prix. Austin is probably my favorite race to go to. Austin as a race is always really exciting. The atmosphere is always really cool in Texas. And then Vegas was really cool, but the timings were not so cool. We were the first night. There was a drain cover that came up and practice got delayed, and basically practice 2 was at 4:30 in the morning. And I remember being on the pit wall trying not to fall asleep. Obviously, like, because there's cameras as well that come up to you, and you don't want to be the guy. Imagine a camera comes up to me and I'm sitting on the pit wall.
And you're asleep.
Like, don't.
That would be great. You're asleep. So the next Drive to Survive is Liam Lawson sleeping on the pit wall. That'd be great.
And it would go everywhere. So I'm trying to stay awake. I was like turning my chair around and staring into the lights that were lighting up the track just to try and keep myself awake. But the event itself was wicked. Obviously, another one where the atmosphere was crazy. The amount of people that came. It's obviously since Drive to Survive, the sport has changed in that department.
Yeah. What's the wildest thing you've seen on the Formula 1 tour? What's the wildest thing? Because I see the Martin Brundle pit walk, which is one of my highlights, is seeing Martin Brundle just go to start, interviewing, getting first of all stonewalled by a lot of people, including Shaquille O'Neal, which was my favourite bits. What's the wildest thing that you've seen that you've just come across on the Formula 1 scene?
It's something that I have to think about. My favourite Brundle interview is probably the one with Machine Gun Kelly, when he went to get him the air guitar and Brundle didn't know what he was talking about. That one cracked me up. But honestly, other than that, to pick you see a lot of crazy things in Formula 1. So I did a hot lap with Terry Crews. I basically drove him rounds. Have you seen the Terry Crews meme, where he's
No, I have. Am I aging here? Am I aging here a little bit? Yeah. Okay. White chicks. Okay. Yeah. Joe's seen it.
And he's like, he's like, making my way downtown, and he's like singing it, and he did it. We did it in the car together as we're doing this hot lap around Vegas. That was probably one of the craziest things I've done. Yeah. Just weird experience, but really, really cool, and an amazing guy.
And so, like those going to those hot laps, how much of the thrill of it is making people shit their pants in the driver's seat? Because Formula One do those hot laps with celebrities and stuff, and they're obviously crapping themselves. That must be great fun watching people in the passenger seat think they're about to die.
Yeah, it is quite funny. It's something that especially on like Vegas with a street circuit, I'll always try and, because they're on the right side. No, they're on the right side or the left side of me. Whatever side they're on me,
yeah.
I always put them really close to the wall to try and, like, when we're going down the straight.
You're a bad man. You're a bad man.
Vegas has a big strip, so you basically reach crazy speeds, and I'm basically just hard up against that wall, trying to scare them, which is quite funny, but it is cool. And on those circuits like Vegas, that was the only time I got to actually drive the circuit, which was quite cool.
Oh, nice. And they had that crazy sphere there. How wicked was that thing? That weird, ginormous sphere on one corner, basically. Whenever there was a red flag or the checker flag, it was lighting up. That whole Formula One just made me smile from ear to ear because it was just so mad. It was complete madness. From the oil dumping. Remember the old Chevy that dumped a whole lot of oil on the track before the race? All completely crazy stuff. So, okay, you're on tour the whole time. It's 2 days. When do you know whether you're going to be driving or not, or do you need to be in a state of readiness the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time. The chances of me driving is very rare. So obviously what happened in Zandvoort was a pretty freak situation, and to compete in those races. But in general, being reserve, you're basically prepared for that at all times. So it's always a really low chance. And obviously in my situation, I don't want to drive because somebody's getting injured. I want to be driving for my own reason, obviously my own reasons, but we have to be ready basically all the time.
So there's no because there's a lot of, they call them the dirty dirties in rugby, when you've got a squad of 23 and they've usually got 26 and there's like 3 players who know they're not going to play on the Saturday and they tend to go and misbehave. The one time you do that, I guarantee someone's going to be injured and you're going to go, oh God, I shouldn't have been out with Shaquille O'Neal in Las Vegas last night. I'm going to have to get behind the wheel. So you're just, buddy, ready to go at any stage.
At any stage, and honestly, with Formula One, being a reserve, even doing multiple years as now I've done, it's so advanced. There's so much to learn and absorb that even as reserve, I basically am absorbing a huge amount of information each weekend, and still learning for sure. And obviously, hopefully one day I get the chance to drive properly. And all of this would basically help that step.
Awesome. I've got a quick. We do a thing called 22 and 2, which is 22 very quick fire questions in 2 minutes. So I'm going to quickly fire those through to you once I get my facial recognition going on my phone. So Liam Lawson, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Hard or fast? Just in life, I imagine you're going to. It's fast.
Fast, yeah, fast. Yes, fast.
Would you rather wake up nude next to Yuki Tsunoda or Daniel Ricciardo?
Oh my God, absolutely neither of them. Neither. I can't pick
neither. You can say neither, but it's like a would you rather.
It's a terrible question.
Okay, I'll move to the next one. They don't get much better. Who would you rather? Would you rather spend an hour watching Australian cricket player David Warner replays of him scoring 100? Are you familiar with David Warner, the cricketer? Are you looking at me like, okay, I'm going to move on. Thai or Indian?
Thai.
Eat out or dine in?
Dine in.
Freddie Mercury or Elton John?
Freddie Mercury.
Wet or dry?
Wet.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Trevor Kelsey or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Ooh. Okay, Christian Horner, Toto Wolff and Gutner Steiner. Who's got the biggest downstairs? If you got to say Christian Horner, don't you?
Christian Horner,
yeah. You've got to say Christian. Yeah, okay. What motorsport legend would you bring back from the dead?
Senna.
Ayrton Senna. Good answer. If this ceremony to bring back Ayrton Senna resulted in you talking like Murray Walker for the rest of your life, would you still do it? And I'm talking like Murray Walker full go 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 go. Where are you racing? So would you still go through with the ceremony?
What?
Of bringing back Ayrton Senna?
I would have yes. Yes.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. Yeah, totally. Have you ever fired a gun?
Yep.
Have you ever killed anything bigger than an insect?
No. Oh, no, I don't think so. No.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe Terry Crews or Brad Pitt, probably.
Oh yeah, Brad Pitt's pretty cool. Not many people have met Brad Pitt. If you had a reoccurring dream that a snowman killed himself with a hairdryer, would you be concerned?
I'd probably be concerned if it was recurring. Yeah.
Yeah, you did a good answer. If you were offered a knighthood, would you accept it?
Offered a night. You have to. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
At what age do people say they've had a fall instead of falling over? You know, when your grandma goes, "Oh, I've had a fall, dear." At what age does it switch from falling over to having a fall?
Probably 70.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Have you ever screamed at anyone, "Google me, motherfucker"?
No, I haven't.
Damn it, I have. If you were going to get a statue made of yourself, Liam Lawson, what pose would it be, and where would you put it?
Oh man, I don't know. It'd be like a race-winning pose. It would be a race-winning pose. I don't know.
Dad's backyard.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Or your sister's place, just to rub it in.
Yeah. Actually, it would be my sister's place. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Liam Lawson, thank you very much for joining us on the agenda. I wish you the best of luck this year. Like you mentioned, I hope you get a drive, and not for the reasons that it makes it bad for other people, but you deserve it.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the doco. You're a great human being. You're a great New Zealander, and all the best for this season. I look forward to seeing you on Drive to Survive.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.